Is it really possible for a tiny tweak to your morning coffee routine to ignite your metabolism and put your body into full fat-burning mode for the rest of the day?
Check out the link in the video description now and transform your morning coffee into a metabolism-boosting super drink.
The mother of one of the children who were tragically killed when a car crashed into a prep school in Wimbledon has spoken of the agony of losing her daughter. In an interview taken before she learned that the driver of the 4x4 which plowed into the school would not be charged, grieving mother Smera Chauhan told of the family's frustration with the investigation, adding, "We need a little more than these tiny steps." Nuria Sajjad and Selina Lau, both 8, were killed in July last year when a Land Rover rammed through a fence and into an end-of-term celebration at the study prep in Wimbledon. More than a dozen people were left injured. Yesterday, the families of the 2 girls were left disappointed after the CPS revealed Claire Fremantle, 47, who had an epileptic seizure behind the wheel, will face not criminal charges. In an interview with the BBC earlier this year, but aired again last night, the mother of Nuria said, "I understand, or I try to understand the process, the timeline, and everything else. But that never weighs against our grief and our loss." Close to tears, she continued, "Our daughter was killed 6 months ago. We need a little more than these tiny steps. We were just an ordinary family." Ms. Fremantle, from Wimbledon, southwest London, was arrested at the scene on July 6, 2023, on suspicion of causing death by dangerous driving. However, the CPS yesterday said she will face no further charges after revealing she had suffered an epileptic seizure behind the wheel, with Ms. Fremantle expressing her deepest sorrow at the tragedy, which she says she had no recollection of. But the revelation has left Nuria and Selina's grieving loved ones disappointed and questioning the police investigation into the smash. Trevor Sterling, lawyer for the families, said yesterday, "This is disappointing. Justice must not only be done, but seen to be done." The children had been enjoying a tea party to celebrate the end of term on the grounds of the prep school when the horror crash claimed their lives. Mr. Sterling continued, "In the absence of a process, how do we interrogate the evidence? What does this message send to the public that deaths can arise in a road traffic situation, and there could be no sanction because there is no process to interrogate the evidence? The next focus will be on the inquest, and there will be a deep and thorough review of the evidence, which will be examined by a jury if necessary." The parents of girls killed in the nightmare smash said they remain unconvinced that the investigation has been conducted thoroughly, adding Nuria and Selina deserved better. In a joint statement, Sajjad Butt, Smera Chauhan, Frankie Lau and Jessie Deng, the parents of Nuria and Selina, said, "All the victims of the events of July 6, 2023 did nothing wrong. We were all in the safest place we could have been outside our own homes. We were celebrating a day filled with joy. Nuria and Selina's lives were taken in a moment. So many lives were also irreparably shattered in that moment. Hundreds of people, parents, teachers, children, neighbors, friends and family members will never lead normal lives again. Some of us will never experience joy again. We have tried to keep faith in the systems and institutions that are supposed to protect victims and deliver justice to those affected. We have been disappointed by this system. We have already expressed, publicly, our dissatisfaction with the pace of the investigative process. It is now clear to us that the depth of the process is questionable too. In the absence of any concrete evidence to the contrary, we can only surmise that the investigation has been equally poor." Speaking out yesterday following the tragedy, a grief-stricken Ms. Fremantle expressed her deepest sorrow and said she had no recollection of what took place after losing consciousness because of an epileptic seizure at the wheel. "Since I became aware of the terrible event that took place on July 6, the devastating consequences for all those affected have not left my thoughts and will be with me for the rest of my life," she said. "I have since been diagnosed as having suffered an epileptic seizure with loss of consciousness. This was not a pre-existing condition. As a result of losing consciousness, I have no recollection of what took place. I can only express my deepest sorrow for Th.